Hi, and welcome back to our next episode. Hey, thanks for stopping in and visiting today at coachandplaybaseball.com. We've got another video today about, we're going to be talking about how to make an endless supply of pitching, have a pipeline of pitching. So before we get into that, just want to make sure you can reach us. A couple ways you can reach us. You can stay in contact with me you can subscribe to this channel, my YouTube channel. You can also go to Facebook and go to Holt Baseball and find us there. And I'm on Twitter at Coach Whisperer1, Coach Whisperer1. You can find us on Twitter and follow us there. So there's several ways you can get in contact with us and keep in communication with us. But today's episode, we're going to be talking about creating an endless supply of pitching. And right now, you're seeing a lot of teams, rec teams, and travel teams that don't quite have enough pitching. They don't have enough pitchers in the pipeline. And I kind of go back to what I call the Freddy WholeStaff. Freddy WholeStaff is whole staff, like your whole pitching staff. And how I came up with this name was back in my minor league managing days, we always have a starting rotation, 5 pitchers in the starting pitching pipeline, and every 5 days those pitchers are going to start, and then your relievers come in after that. But occasionally, from time to time, there's situations that you don't always get planned out as well. They maybe have some rainouts, maybe have an injury, maybe somebody got called up to the next level, maybe you had an extra inning game, maybe we've had double headers. So that 5-man rotation sometimes gets kind of tumbled upside down a little bit, and doesn't stay as a perfect plan. So occasionally you have to, maybe the next day you don't know who's going to be the starting pitcher. So one day some of my guys asked me, "Hey Skip, who's pitching tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Freddy WholeStaff," because I didn't really know who was going to pitch tomorrow because we were a little bit shorthanded. We were kind of going in and kind of reaching for a starter. We're just trying to get through today and see what we got left for tomorrow. So I said, "Freddy WholeStaff's pitching tomorrow." And they're like, "Who's he? He's not on our team." I said, "Yeah, he's here. He'll be here tomorrow, Freddy WholeStaff." And so they kind of looked at me funny and didn't know if I was half kidding or half serious. And what happens is the How Sports Stats Bureau, the official scorer has to report the starting pitcher that you're going to pitch the next day, so the media will know and the scouts that come in, they'll know who the starting pitcher is. So the official scorer came in and he said, "Hey, who are you going to pitch tomorrow?" And I got to put down your starting pitcher. And I said, "Freddy WholeStaff." And so all my players are listening and they're like, "Wow, Freddy WholeStaff's pitching tomorrow." And so they're not sure if I'm, where I'm coming from on this. But anyway, the next day in the box scores and the stats, sure enough, it says starting pitcher for our ball club that day was Freddy WholeStaff. And finally, I let the players know that Freddy WholeStaff means everybody's pitching, the whole staff. And they just cracked up. They could not believe it. It was so funny that we got Freddy WholeStaff's name on those stats. But anyway, that's how I look at youth baseball. Your whole staff should pitch. And a lot of pitchers should get in the mix in the pipeline. Yeah, sure enough, you're not going to have everybody going to be a star pitcher. Usually you have 1 or 2 really good pitchers, 1 or 2, 3 more that are pretty decent or average, and then you got 2, 3 maybe project guys that can give you an inning here or there. You got to kind of bring them along. But I was in the business in the minor leagues of keeping pitchers healthy. I didn't want to overtax anybody or overpitch anybody. And what I see nowadays is in these travel teams and things and in rec leagues, they're letting kids pitch 4, 5, 6 innings or a whole game, and then they're actually bringing them back the next day. So if a kid pitches 4, 5, 6 innings on Saturday, they're bringing them back on Sunday and pitching 3 or 4 more. It may be within the rules, it may be within the limits of pitching innings, but in common sense, it's not something that we should do. I would never, in pro ball, I would never pitch a guy 3 or 4 innings and then bring him back the next day. I'd always give him at least probably 2 days off if I could. I might bring him back for an inning after a day's rest. So a guy can pitch 1 or 2 innings, you can usually come back the next day. But if he starts getting 3, 4, 5 innings in one day, he shouldn't be in the mix the next day. But unfortunately, our travel ball teams, they look at winning over player development and the health of players, and they're bringing players back on not enough rest. Plus, the travel ball players, rec ball players, they're usually playing another position, maybe even a prime throwing position like shortstop or catcher. So they're actually taxing their arm after they throw and stuff. So that's why one of the reasons I think we're seeing a lot more problems and injuries come up with at an earlier age is, I think these travel ball tournaments, one of the negative things is you have to look at, they're playing 4 or 5 games on a weekend. 4 games times 6 innings is 24 innings. So we have a 12-man team, maybe 11-man team, maybe a 10-man team. We got to divide 10 into 24. 10 pitchers into 24 is, maybe 2.5 innings each. Well, we know that all 10 of those players probably aren't pitching. So we're taking 6 players and dividing that into 24, and those 6 players are going to have to pitch about 4 innings each. All right? So probably they're going to do some kind of thing where they're pitching 3 innings, coming back and pitching 3 or 4 more the next. So it's not real healthy, especially if they're playing other positions. So we're actually getting too few pitchers pitching too many innings. So we want to try to expand and have more 8. We want to have 8 as a minimum. 8 is a minimum in your pipeline of pitchers, and kind of grow that from there. So if you can go into a weekend with 8 solid pitchers, you're going to have some good healthy arms. You can be able to have guys take breaks and relax and sit out a little bit and still have healthy arms throughout the whole weekend. So that's what we want to try to do is increase the pipeline of pitchers so you can expand it to 7, 8, maybe 9 pitchers. In fact, just about everybody on my team is going to be looked at as a pitcher and developing as a pitcher. So try that as we go forward, and we'll try to see if we can alleviate some of these arm injuries. And that's it for today for our endless supply of pitching. You can go on my website, www.coachandplaybaseball.com. I've got some free things available you can read about pitching, and also there's some ebooks and things like that if you want to take a look at some of the stuff I have on DVDs and ebooks. This is Dave Holt signing out. Thank you for your service to baseball, and God bless. We'll see you next time.